Hello, I'm Yongbae. I'm the assistant manager of Korean audiophile community, Hi-Fi Nara. And we have here next to me from CH Precision, Mr. Kevin Wolff. We are at actually a Korean audio show. He's attending the audio show. He gave the demonstration with CH Precision full set with Global. And we're now talk about from CH Precision and everything. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for putting this together.
Thank you for accepting the interview.
You bet.
So CH Precision has been in high-end audio for a long time, and I heard that you worked in this field for a long time. Can you introduce us about what you do at CH Precision and so on?
It is a position that is a dream position for me. I have been fortunate enough to be in the audio industry, in the high-end audio industry, I'm embarrassed to say, since 1988. I started in retail, like many people in our industry, have worked for a distributor, was a national manager for a very large distributor in North America. I've designed phono cartridges for that distributor. We marketed our own phono cartridges. And then I have worked for a number of manufacturers, from small manufacturers such as Vienna Acoustics. That's what's brought me to this show before. But also I ran North American sales for large companies like Bowers and Wilkins. And since then, I have become friends with Florian Cozy, the C in CH. And as they have expanded over the last few years, they needed somebody to take over international sales for them. I, through a company I used to own, a distribution company, wanted to distribute CH Precision,
Where?
North America. And unfortunately, Florian already had a distributor. So a few years passes by, and now I have this dream position where I get to work with Florian and CH, but not in North America, but worldwide. It's a wonderful opportunity, wonderful product I own, product I recommend.
So how long have you been in CH then?
I joined CH in 2021.
2021. You're an American.
Yep.
But how long have you lived in Europe then?
So I live in the US again. And part of how it works for CH is we have a very strong following throughout all of Asia Pacific. I live in Seattle, and so traveling to Asia Pacific from Seattle is far easier than from Switzerland. So it works quite well for helping in Asia Pacific. And then Europe, I used to live in Europe, so I have the opportunity with CH. I have two choices. I can stay on the west coast of the United States or move to Switzerland. That was the choice I was given. So for now, I'm staying in the west coast of the United States.
So why did you choose west coast of the United States?
Well, I was lucky that I didn't live in New York, because Florian would have made me move. But I have some family on the west coast. So I chose, when I lived in Vienna, Austria for a number of years, and so when I returned to the United States, I moved near family.
So how did the living in Vienna help you with your career?
I think it helped in more than my career, I think in my life. The perspective. I know it will be no surprise, but Americans can be very self-absorbed. And they think of themselves as the center of the universe. Living abroad and seeing America from abroad gave me a completely different perspective. While I come from a family that was from Germany, so I was raised with a perspective maybe a little different, it was still very helpful to live out of the country for a number of years. Now German went away quickly, having not used it. And my family joked, because I have a German family, that I never spoke German, I spoke Austrian.
All right.
The dialect is a bit different. But if you love music, and I love to tell this story, my very first punk rock concert I had ever been to was in Vienna.
Wow. Really?
Everybody thinks of classical music, but all music in Vienna is important. And so I have gone to concerts, everything from the Portuguese music style of fado to punk rock to jazz. And yes, I grew up on classical music, and so having both the Vienna Philharmonic and Symphony, not so bad. Not so bad. It was wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. So have you been to the New Year's concert in Vienna?
The New Year's concert is an interesting concert. It is the most expensive concert that I'm aware of in the world.
Right.
And it is predominantly foreigners. It's a lottery for the opportunity to spend €1,000 for a seat.
Right.
And it also is Johann Strauss, which is maybe my least favorite music from Vienna.
Okay.
It's bubblegum classical music.
All right.
In comparison to Mahler, which I consider to be, Mahler is kind of the pinnacle of the Viennese school of music.
Okay. Oh, wow, you like Mahler.
Yeah, Mahler. Yeah, it's not easy always.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
And similar, Mozart is from young is relatively simple, but then gets very complex later. And Mozart, while he's really from Salzburg, he's on the cover of everything in Vienna. They've made him Viennese.
So now let's talk about the CH. There are many high-end brands in audio, and why CH?
It's a really great question. Really great question. So CH is a very unique manufacturer.
Yeah.
I have been around a long time, as I mentioned, and I've worked with many manufacturers. CH is a small company, but they do everything in-house. So the initials CH stand for two people, Florian Cozy, C, and Terry Heeb, the H. It also stands for the international designation for Switzerland. So the name tells two stories.
Yeah.
It tells us where it comes from,
Right.
but also that it is two very smart people. Florian, out of university, worked for a small Swiss company that kind of gave way to what is the Swiss movement of high-end audio today. And that's a small company called Goldman. And so Florian has a tremendous reputation as an analog designer. Terry Heeb is a theoretical mathematician. He gives lectures on math that I can't understand. I have a degree in philosophy. Math is not my strong suit. I finished at calculus, and I'm thankful to have no more math. And so when you look at a CH product, everything in-house from the algorithms in the Peter spline filters is proprietary to CH Precision. There's no borrowing from other people, even the math. The circuit designs are all CH. Florian and Terry have both had other companies that have made OEM digital products for some of the finest digital product in the world between Goldman and CH. And so we know some of the competition because we did the design work before CH. And so what we build into CH in the digital domain is the most advanced digital product we know. In the analog domain, we apply some digital understanding. And it's important to not make the mistake to think that we put digital in analog. We do not do that. So in the M10 or the L10 preamplifier, those are full analog products that have very short signal paths and other things that you would expect.
What about P1?
And the P1 also, that's a full analog R2R gain structure. It's state-of-the-art short signal path. Where we differ is that we use a lot of very special digital technology outside of the circuit to optimize the circuit. So for example, all of our line stages, the L1 or the L10, we have the ability to customize every input independent and recustomize it. We call it calibration, where we run a internal test that uses the cable and the source, testing the circuit and optimizing it, measuring for DC offset, which will always be some amount present. The sonic benefit is fairly significant because at this level, any improvement is very hard to do. And so unlike normal line stages, the L1 is a plug and play. You can buy it, you can put it on a shelf and listen to it and go, oh, great, it sounds better than my old one. We're not done. We want to take that even farther.
Yeah.
And so we use very special technology to further improve the performance. Adjusting gain structures, whether it's the incoming to the line stage or the incoming to the amplifier. Depending on the room, the speaker, the amplifier, the line stage, the source, the cables, the interconnects, a half a dB or 1 dB more or less can be the difference between the most magic and not. And so there's a number of features that most people are unaware of that we rely on our distributors and our worldwide dealers to understand how to use those.
Isn't it difficult to train all the distributors around the world about CH products?
And that is why I was hired by Florian. Because it was too difficult to have, we had two engineers, Florian, who is CEO, and the main engineer. He runs the engineering team of engineers, and one of our other engineers, the two of them did sales support for the world. Well, if you're designing, managing, the last thing you do is train, right? There's just only 24 hours in a day.
Right. Exactly.
And so while we're a 12-year-old company, we finally have reached a size that they could hire me. And it allows Florian to spend more time engineering and running the company.
Right.
And so you will see, last year we released the D1.5 and the C1.2. So our first two products were a digital transport, the D1, and the original controller, the C1. Those are the first two pieces replaced last year. We have an introduction that we won't talk about today, but coming in Munich in May, so pay attention. And then we have some ideas for next year. And we could not do that if we couldn't focus all of our engineering strength on the products.